time for the stupidest name ever. It's the Tittle Tattle with Kickoff Kevin.
Which new coaching hire do you like the most? Hugh Freeze to Auburn, Matt Rule to Nebraska, or Luke Fickell to Wisconsin?
When I think back about Hugh Freeze coaching at Ole Miss, I remember when they would recruit players, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they were getting the #1 recruit in America, #2 recruit. It was kind of like Texas A&M, but before Texas A&M could actually do it, and you would know why they were doing it because they were paying NIL deals and legally. Yeah. But all of a sudden, you're like, something don't smell right. All of a sudden, LSU's got the #1 recruit in the whole country. Hugh Freeze is a good coach. He made some mistakes.
Yeah.
He made some mistakes.
What do you do? I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Really? You don't know what he did?
Mm-mm.
He got some trouble.
He was.
You like?
Do you want me to just do research? You want me to go home and just do research on my own?
This is PG podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like that.
Follow at Bunky Perkins. He's an incredible follow on Twitter. Big Ole Miss guy. He's got all the Hugh Freeze jokes.
Yeah. Ladies.
Yeah, he wasn't very faithful.
Okay. Got around.
He got around.
There were massages.
Of the night.
Okay.
Type situation, you know.
His recruits too, right? His players.
Of the night.
Yeah.
He was the cool uncle.
Okay. I got you.
He was the cool uncle, supposedly, allegedly. So anyway, he's a really great coach. I think people are now saying he's already one of the top SEC coaches already. I don't know that I'd go there. I mean, I thought, and I was led to believe that Wisconsin was going to move their assistant up to be the head coach. Everywhere. Fickell's great. I mean, he's proven he can win and even get to into the top 4 with Cincinnati, not in a Power 5 school. You give him some resources, that's really cool. And Matt Rule, I like it for Nebraska. I don't know that I know enough about Matt. He was places quickly and had success quickly, but I haven't seen him like build a program. And so I did see him talking about Carolina where he's like, man, they promised me 5 years. Yeah, that sucked. I did not expect to be fired 2 years. But all are really good, flashy, fulfilling hires for the program. But if I were going to pick one, I like Fickell probably the best, just because, and probably Freeze is a better coach as far as being new, innovative. But Fickell's probably not going to hang out with a lady at a whore night.
Of the night.
Yeah, lady of the night. But I'm going to go Fickell. But it's close because I do like all the hires, and I think Rule is going to be really good, obviously. But there's not a real record of a 5-year of him building a program and holding it. He rose pretty quickly. He did a few years, Baylor, and he won. But Fickell has proven over time he can win.
Rule's got his work cut out. Nebraska's in bad shape.
Yeah,
he's gonna need some. He's going to need some help.
I would like to go into Nebraska, though, I think, more than I would like to go into Wisconsin right now, because Wisconsin expects to win in the next couple of years. And Nebraska, they're going to give Rule
he's gonna have
3 to 4 to 5 years before they really start busting his.
Dude, Wisconsin, they better compete next year for a Big Ten.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then Auburn is going to need to win in 2 years.
Yeah.
I think next year they'll have,
They won't be patient.
Yeah. Okay, what else?
Who do you trust more to win their conference championship this weekend to stay in the college football playoff? USC or TCU?
TCU. And if TCU loses, they should stay in it. I've changed my mind.
No, Bobby.
No way.
Yeah, and
I couldn't get to my whistle fast enough.
I've been so and I'll tell you why. If USC loses, they should not be in it. They've already lost a game. They have lost a game. You can't have 2 losses and you're not in the SEC. Goodbye. Georgia, they can lose. They're still in it. They haven't lost a game. TCU is in a Power 5 conference, and they're undefeated. And I know TCU's been the school we've been waiting to fall all year long, and I've been one of them. And I thought if they lose, they're out. But the more I think about it, they shouldn't be punished for playing in a championship game. And they're the only school that would be punished more so for playing in the game. USC's already lost a game. Had they not lost a game, I'd say the same thing. USC lost to Utah.
Yeah.
They have 1 loss already. So they're going to play them again. And if they lose, they for sure should be out. But TCU hasn't lost at all. And I think they shouldn't be punished for playing in that championship game. Now, USC is only being punished because they've already lost once. If they were also undefeated, I would say the same thing. You shouldn't be punished for the reward that you're given, which is a chance at a conference championship.
Sorry, go ahead.
I also think they get punished for their name too, because they're not in Alabama. They're not one of these big brands, and so I mean, you kind of get left out in the cold when you're not one of those names.
I think that we have to agree that you got a committee that looks at that. They're going to look at eyeballs. They're going to look at teams. I think with Cincinnati that year that they squeezed them in, like that was probably hard for them to do.
Well, they didn't lose the game, right?
And they were undefeated.
They didn't lose the game, yeah.
Like, but with TCU, there's some weak wins in there. I feel like they're stretching when they talk about their strong wins. It's like a big win over a 4-7.
I hear you, but Michigan hasn't beat anybody either except Ohio State.
But that was they took it to them.
I absolutely agree, and they deserve to be in there.
They do. They do.
They can lose, and they should stay in.
Mm-hmm.
If they were to lose to Purdue, Michigan should stay in. You can't kick somebody out for being undefeated in a conference championship game if they lose the conference championship game. That's my opinion. Now I've changed because the more I thought about it, the more I was like, they shouldn't be punished for that. USC's already lost. You lose, you're out the door. Kick rocks. And then that's when Ohio State or Alabama comes in. But that's what I think. I think TCU, now I think they win as well. I do think TCU wins, and it'll be a moot point, as they say.
Both going to be tough.
They are both going to be tough.
Kansas State's a good squad.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good game.
Similar style-ish too.
Yeah.
TCU has a really great receiver, and they move the ball differently at times. They can go a little more over the top, but I still think TCU can do it. I think they're a team of destiny, and they're destined to go and lose the first round of the playoffs. All right.
They are going to get it handed to them by Georgia.
Yeah. All right, next up.
Do you think Tennessee would be ranked ahead of Alabama in the latest poll if Hendon Hooker was still healthy?
Yes.
For sure.
And I do hear people, and I understand why you're upset that Tennessee isn't higher than Alabama, or they're not sitting on the edge to also be in the conversation. You don't have your starting quarterback. It will be embarrassing for everybody involved. You lost a bad game when you shouldn't have lost it. A good game, but it's a bad loss. You can't lose to South Carolina.
That bad.
Yeah. It's a good game for South Carolina. It's a bad loss. Yeah. You can't do that. And so, yes, they would be, but you can't put a backup quarterback in there if it's close. Eyeballs, right?
Yeah.
Not just data, eyeballs.
Yeah. That's not the same team without Hendon Hooker.
Yes. And it just wouldn't be good television. It wouldn't be good for ratings. It wouldn't be a good game. And if it's close, that's what you go to. So, yeah. But I digress. Go ahead.
Next one?
Yeah.
Okay, going to the NFL. Should the Packers think about sitting Aaron Rodgers to get him healthy and also to see if Jordan Love is maybe trade bait or their future, possibly?
I heard Rodgers finally say he'd be open to the idea of them resting him for the rest of the year, which means he probably wants to be rested.
Weird.
They're playing the Bears this week, and Rodgers owns the Bears. And if he could play one more, maybe he's made the deal with them. I don't know. If I were Rodgers, I'd want to play. If I could, I'd want to play against the Bears. Mm-hmm. He hates the Bears. He loves rubbing it in their face. But you don't want to lose to the Bears if you're Rodgers. So if he's not physically up and feeling like they can win this game, I'd say, guys, let's do it. Let's sit me, because he's owed $50 million to play next year. They're not going to the playoffs. Jordan Love, if he's able to come in and actually be pretty good, you can get some good parts for that. So and Jordan Love threw the ball pretty well last week, which he looked better last week. And yes, time in the system, experience. He looked better last week than he's ever looked before. And it was at times you're like, dang, that could be the guy right there. Not the guy, not him, but you're like, that could be the guy.
Was it just me or did he look like Aaron Rodgers too? His mannerisms, I don't know if he watched, even the way that he throws, like, I don't know.
No, you're watching a recording of the game before.
Yeah, not really. No.
DVR, buddy.
Were you watching it?
I don't think he drinks that tea or anything.
I didn't think that, but
I was saying the way he plays.
Maybe. I don't know.
He
I
runs
never
the
thought
ball,
that.
though. Like, he runs the ball, and he can do different things than Aaron Rodgers. Aaron can't move like that.
And he didn't have, like, dirty,
long hair.
Ellen Adam hair coming out of his helmet.
That is true. So, no, he didn't look like him.
But, yeah, I'd probably sit him and protect him. What do you think about that, Jordan?
I mean, if Rodgers wants to play, I still think he's the guy. So, like, it'd be tough to – it has those, like, throwbacks to, like, Eli Manning when they set Eli Manning for, was it Geno
Kurt
Smith?
Warner?
Yep.
No.
Oh,
Geno. Yeah, they stopped his streak.
They, like,
Yes,
stopped his
yes,
streak.
yes.
Where it's like, if you have a guy that, obviously, first ballot Hall of Famer, top 10 quarterback of all time, if he wants to play football, you let him go play football.
I don't think he wants to play football.
Not in Green Bay.
I don't think he
agree with
wants to
that.
play or a bad team. And they're bad.
Yeah.
But I think if he thinks he can beat the Bears, that's probably why he'll play. If it's like borderline, I think he plays against the Bears.
It's like one of those crazy things that with Rodgers, like they have a slim opening for potentially getting in the playoffs. It hasn't shut all the way.
Yeah.
I think until that door closes, I think he's out there.
He's got a thumb though, and now they thought he had a
Punctured.
punctured, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
They thought that at first.
So and that's his
It's an
throwing thumb, right?
abdominal.
That's his throwing thumb, but he's been dealing with it for a few weeks.
And he
so
didn't
he's
say anything
fine.
about it until
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
You know, Pulisic, who plays for the U.S.,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's dealing with a nut injury.
Okay, so was it a nut injury?
I watched the clip. It looked like a nut
When
injury.
I watched it, I'm like, he got kneed in the nuts.
It's that straight to.
I mean, you go to the hospital for a nut injury. That's serious stuff.
Yeah, man.
I've racked myself many times.
Is he out Saturday?
No, he says he's gonna be. We don't know, but he says he says I saw the picture he posted.
You talked
Did he
to
call
him?
you?
He was like,
The text
"I'll
said
see you
he's-
Saturday." We'll talk soccer in a minute. What else you got?
Okay, well, the 49ers hand Tua his first loss as a full game starter this season.
Yes, yeah. 49ers are awesome,
Yeah.
It's a good squad.
and they've gotten a lot better. And it's not even a McCaffrey thing. He helps, and he opens it up for everybody else. But man, defensively they're good.
Yeah.
Offensively they're good. Jimmy G has a bit of confidence. I mean, he's not him, but he's that guy. He's like the middle. He's yeah.
He's a good enough guy.
Yeah.
He's like
He's not going to lose games for you, that's for sure.
And he's making money because every time he wins, he has a big bonus on his contract because they didn't expect for him to play.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I do expect them to beat the Dolphins. Go ahead.
Last one. Do the Bengals need to beat the Chiefs on Sunday to prove that last year's AFC Championship game wasn't a fluke?
No. Chiefs are awesome. If they lose to the Chiefs, it's fine. They'll get another shot at them probably. But last year, that game was very flukish. And the Chiefs, they shouldn't have lost that game. The Chiefs shouldn't have lost the game.
Oh, yeah.
But no, if you lose to the Chiefs, you just lose to the Chiefs. They're really good, unless you lose 50-3. Other than that, you're fine. You'll be back.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the Bengals' offensive line is really starting to play well. They're starting to be what we thought they were going to be. They're starting to gel, and I always think that Burrow, I think he can do anything. I mean, if they're down 6 with 48 seconds, I'm like, oh, I have faith. Just because he's got that swagger, he throws ball. His receivers, they risk themselves for him as much as any wide receiver quarterback I've seen.
We don't know yet if they're full strength this weekend. So at this
Jamar
point,
Chase?
yeah, Jamar Chase and
As
Mixon.
of right now, yeah. I don't know.
Chase is probably going to play, and Mixon, I do not know. The concussion stuff's weird because even though you can feel healthy, you got to be cleared by somebody else fully. Where if you're Jamar Chase and you have a hip thing, they can't really feel what you feel. They can go, okay, how do you feel? Is it good? You have all your, yeah. Okay, let's go. But you can go like, I feel great. I don't feel anything. And they're like, nope, you're not passing this test. If you're,
Right.
they can keep you out of that way more so than they could a hip injury or an ankle, that type of situation.
Yeah.
All right, that's Tittle Tattle. Thank you.